Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinka.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ, where we help you lead with purpose and succeed with impact. If you're ready to grow into the kind of leader others want to follow, this podcast is for you. If you're determined to elevate your success and leave a lasting legacy, this podcast is for you. As my mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell reminds us, everything rises and falls on leadership. Our goal is simple: to inspire you, challenge you, and equip you with insights that can transform the trajectory of your leadership journey. Welcome aboard to another episode of the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ.
Hi, I'm Astrid Meyer, Executive Director from the John Maxwell team. I'm an agent of change in Europe, living in Switzerland. Passionate about growth, leadership, and transformation. Growth means never stop learning and become the best you can be. Leadership means how can we work together in a better way to become a better place to live. Transformation starts with you, with us. We want to become the change we want to see. I have been to our annual conference with the John Maxwell team. What a great team. Over 20,000 coaches, speakers and trainers from the entire world. One of our great quotes is, "The most important leadership is to lead ourselves. And the highest value of leadership is add value to others." Thank you for watching this video. With our team, we would be pleased to support you as a coach, speaker, or trainer in your professional or personal life. And if you want to become an agent of change, please join us. We want to become the change we want to see.
Being a certified speaker, coach, and trainer for the John Maxwell team means that she is part of a team of elite coaches, teachers, and speakers, professionals, taking leadership training, talents, skills, and adding value to people all over the world. Everything rises and falls on leadership.
All right, everyone, this is Coach BZ, and welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast. I have a very, very special guest for you today. All right, without any further ado, let's get started with our moment of gratitude, especially this week in the US. It's Thanksgiving week, and we want to just take a moment to think about one thing every day that we are grateful for. And for those who've been following this podcast for a while, you know the reason why we do that here every single day is because in the military, it's about 21, 22 veterans commit suicide every single day. And this really is our chance to be grateful for life, be grateful for something every day, because it's not possible, right, to be suicidal and grateful at the very same time. So if you would close your eyes, this only takes a moment, put yourself in your happy place, and maybe take a deep breath and think, what am I grateful for right now? Today, I think I'm really grateful for technology, right? It really breaks a lot of barrier. What we are doing right now in 2025, it couldn't have been done 50 years ago, right? I am here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I'm able to talk to an amazing, outstanding coach all the way in Switzerland. Somebody who speaks French, German, and English, and I didn't know her 3 months ago, but today we are connected by our values and by our desire to really help develop the next generations of leaders. And all of this is because of the technology. And also because of technology, I do speak French, but I don't have time to translate my podcast from English to French. I will use artificial intelligence to do the translation. And because my guests also speak German, so I'm going to translate the podcast in German as well. So I'm able to reach more people, and a lot of barriers are being broken because of the power of technology. So I am really, really grateful for that. So let me see if I can do a proper introduction for our guest today. Today, we are going to be speaking with Coach Astrid Meyer. So she's an executive director of the Maxwell Leadership Certified Team, and she is a certified facilitator, speaker, trainer, and coach. She coaches individual and groups alike. So she's trained and been trained and mentored by John Maxwell, who is my primary mentor as well, into this world class of faculty. So she's equipped with the tools, the resources, to help you and your team improve your productivity, performance, and profitability. All right. So without any further ado, let me bring to the Leadership and Success podcast Coach Astrid Meyer. Hey, salut Astrid, comment ça va? Hello.
Bonjour, bienvenue. Hello, what a pleasure to be here. Nice to be here with you, Coach BC.
Wow. It's wonderful. What time is it there in Switzerland? Is it like 3:45
Yeah,
p.m.?
it's
Yeah,
3:45 p.m. Exactly.
yeah.
We
So
are
that's
in the snow and we have
wow. You already
daylight.
have that's pretty early. Yeah, it's only 6:45 a.m. here in California. I'm so glad to see you. I've been waiting for this moment for a very long time. Maybe to get started, what are you grateful for today?
Today I'm grateful to be in a home where we have heating because outside is really cold and a lot of snow.
Wow.
And then I don't have to go out. So I'm just happy. And I'm so happy to be here and to share about values.
Wow, that is really wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Is there something about you that most people may not know?
What people would not know. I am living in the mountains. And
Wow,
yesterday it took me 3 hours to go down the mountain to the valley.
wow,
But and I'm facing the Matterhorn. So if it's nice weather, it looks really nice here in
wow.
Switzerland.
I've been to Europe, never to Switzerland. I think I need to go there. I'm assuming many people do skiing this time of the year, right?
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
starts absolutely.
That is beautiful. Okay, maybe you can to get started, kind of let us know about your leadership journey, how you came to become a certified Maxwell leadership coach, and also having now your own ministry and business where you coach and train and develop other leaders.
Yeah, well, I think since a long time I had this profound search for good in human beings,
Mm,
but also disappointment in incomprehension of human behavior.
yes.
But I was fascinated by different educational approaches that brought out the best in children.
Mm,
And I like to quote Charlie Chaplin, who said, "There is genius in every child. You just have to bring it out." And I
wow.
would add that there is value in every human being. So let's learn to align ourselves with these human values.
Wow, that is really powerful. And one thing I do love with the Maxwell Leadership DNA, we really focus on values a lot, right? Papa John like to say, "I have great value, right? I value people, and then I want to add value to
Yeah.
people." That's really the essence of leadership, isn't it? So your
Yes.
journey then from Switzerland to global transformation leadership is quite extraordinary. What inspired you to dedicate your life to developing people through value?
Um, I'm I would say I had a aha moment before I really was aware.
Mhm.
I studied business at a college for girls, and our female principal told us, "This is not a school for training secretaries. I
Mm.
want to see women leaders emerge who will bring something good to this world."
Wow.
And at that time, I didn't really understand what that meant.
Hmm.
And it has taken me quite a journey to bring it together,
Yeah.
serve, add value, and be in leadership position.
Wow. That is really something. Can you take us back to one of your haha moment, the turning point when you realize that leadership begins with self leadership?
Well, maybe it's sometimes in crisis, in hard times, we realize it most.
Yes.
We had already a company, everything was good, but at my 50s, I just was stopped by a cancer, final state. I had
Mm.
2 or 3 months left to live.
Wow.
And
Sad.
there I had to find this um,
Mm.
personal, intentional understanding what's next, what is life all about. So I
Mm.
had personal coaching. I'm a personal face, so Jesus really gave me coaching because it
Wow.
needed to understand more how to go through this journey.
Wow. I am so glad you overcame that. Thank you for sharing it. Wow, because you've really built an organization, you've coached leaders and transformed teams across 5 continents, not just in Europe, but really all around the world. What early experience shaped your philosophy on servant leadership?
Well, I had interesting discovery. Beside of we had a Christian bookshop with
Mhm.
event management and did concert organization. I had a heart for difficult places in our town where young children had not a lot of hope to do something
Mm.
in a different way. So I started to invest time to coach them, to add value to them,
Yes.
to rise them. And we created an organization called Quartier Libre. And for 20 years, we went in these places to rise leaders, young people, to
Mm.
bring them to values and then to disciple them to really understand how to become leaders. So that was one of
Ah,
things I did before Maxwell,
yes.
before I knew about John Maxwell, but
Yes.
kind of the same alignment on
Wow.
values and leadership.
That is so powerful because really children are our future, right? Because in the early days of your work with La Clé de Sol and Ressource de Vie, what were some key lessons you learned about resilience, creativity, and faith in leadership?
Well, just to make sure,
Hmm.
my husband and I, we were engaged as business people in a huge company here in Vevey in Switzerland.
Hmm.
So our goal was not all this part. But I think we had aha moments together when we said, well, what is our purpose? Is it just
Hmm.
success? We were just newborn Christians, so we just
Yes.
became really engaged and we wanted to change the world. So we started at that moment this company with more mission oriented
Hmm.
to bring help to people. And I think since 40 years, it's now 40 years, we
Wow.
started this first company. It is still running, it's still having
Yeah, that's awesome.
success. And it already showed us there is a beyond success, there is a life of
Yes.
significance.
Yes. Yes. I know Papa John says, once you test significance, success will no longer satisfy. Man, I am
Absolutely.
really amazed all of the work you do, are you putting out into the next generation. Like Papa John's, you say, right, everything rises and falls on leadership, and leadership rises and falls on character. So how does that truth play out in modern organization today?
Oh, it's so true. And I even would add, and character rises and falls on values.
That's true. Yes.
If you don't start working on values, change is very difficult to achieve.
Mm,
After years of trainings about leadership, teamwork,
yes.
I just found the habits or the bad habits of character level
Mm,
side are so difficult. So it was kind one side I did all these trainings, but on the other side, bad behavior were most of the times the difficult part, and people don't know how to work along with this. So
Yes.
to strengthen sustainable performance, team cohesion, and leadership, it needs values. So I
Wow.
became engaged more and more in values.
Did this kind of lead you to found the human values global?
It was different circumstances. Sometimes it's funny how God
Things come
brings it
together.
all together. We would not imagine how it comes. It was mostly about COVID. We could not
Mhm.
work anymore. We had all these
Yes.
coaches. I was trainer on the French platform,
Wow.
and then shut down. We could not go do anything anymore, and people were not ready to have their online platforms. All this business, they
Hmm.
were just stopping. So I wanted to help all these coaches, and so
Wow.
I created this platform. But then, well, there's a lot coming together. But we
Yes.
will come, I think, in
Yes.
in the discussion on
Wow.
this.
It is really amazing because you are really impacting the entire globe with coaches. Wow, that is really wonderful. So, how do you help teams identify and align around shared values, especially in multicultural or multinational environment?
Um, Well, to begin, we work with the organization to identify the values
Hmm.
they would like to improve. For example, attitude, motivation, respect.
Yes.
We have listened 48 fundamental values.
Hmm. Wow, that is so wonderful. And let me ask you this: in your experience, what are some of the most common leadership blind spots that prevent transformation?
Um, we are not aware of what we do not know.
Mm,
I think when I talk about values, very few people know what I'm talking about. People
yes.
quickly uh, think it's a moral judgment,
Hmm.
or or I think religion or dominant systems have
Yes.
abused about this morality or these values. But today we are lacking so much values, and we don't know anymore how to transmit them. So I
Yes.
think in the when I go to companies, the first thing I try to ask question about the awareness of values. A lot of people tell
Mm,
me, well, we have on our wall
yeah.
all these values, and I
Yeah.
say, well, how do you train them? And they just go,
Yes.
well, we really announce them and we have them
Yes.
in a paper, but
Yes.
we don't know how to really work and train them.
Wow, that is so powerful. Yeah, I have seen that also even here in Silicon Valley, where a lot of people, they have those core values on the wall of what they think their company stand for. But many times you're right, they don't live by those values. They don't hire and fire by those values. It's like it's just, and even sometimes when I do leadership training or I am a keynote speaker, many times I will ask, hey, who among you guys know what your core values are for your company? And less than 1% know what those values are. Most of them, they have to go to their website or because they have no no idea. Whereas in the US military, it doesn't matter which branch of the military you are in, it's pretty much ingrained into you. For example, in the Navy, we have three core values: honor, courage, commitment. Even when I was a seaman recruit, a low level enlisted sailor, I knew what my three core values were. You can wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Hey, what are your core values? Honor, courage, commitment. So, but in the business, in the industry, they usually say nice things, but they don't really live those out. Wow, thank you for sharing that. That is so important because it should really help the way you develop your strategy and the way you accomplish the mission for your organization. Can you share maybe a story where a leader or an organization experienced a breakthrough after rediscovering their core values?
Well, how can I say? we have core values we love because that seems good. That's on our walls, and we think we have them. But
Hmm.
sometimes it's more interesting to go just to all these values we are not aware and we are
Yes.
not using really. So maybe we are not only about core values, we are about awareness, how a value does function. Every
Mhm.
value has a system, and we have
Yes.
misunderstanding about the system.
Mm.
So when I went to, it was in Costa Rica, we went to a company, and I already observed when I go in a room, you just can read. There
Yes.
were a young bunch of people, and they were the leader, and they
Mm.
were not together. So there
Yes.
were a huge separation. Now,
Wow.
we trained the team. We did two values. The first, attitude. So
Hmm.
everybody was kind of going around. It was easy, a good attitude, awareness, and all this.
Yes.
And then the second value was forgiveness.
Hmm.
And then it fell down. The leader, he just was aware. I did never have this awareness. I have
Wow.
no idea why I did not understand forgiveness and all what we
Ah.
went through the program. So we have a methodology. We can do five different moves around. It's a kind of group coaching
Mhm.
in a secure way. So everybody is not to say everything, but just on
Yes.
certain things they need to answer. And then he had just to give an evaluation. So he gave himself a 0. And you don't say anything. We just say thank you, and then we go to the
Mm.
next. So it went around, but then the next tour we have to say, what could you do better in this
Yes.
evaluation? And he got just, I have no idea. I'm so
Wow.
wrong in that.
Man.
So, long story short, at the end, there were no judgment, there were no
Yes.
condemnation, there were just
Mhm.
awareness. And that was
Man.
enough that the whole team were
Yes.
just coming back and to say, we want to make a photo. And then suddenly it happened. He was in the middle, everybody
Wow.
having the arms around, and he was part of the team. So you see, in just one session,
Man.
by awareness, what is it about forgiveness? He
Yes.
captured the aha moment. I was so wrong. He still had not a
Wow.
response, but he was open now to become a change that he
That,
wanted to see.
that is really powerful. When you talk about the transformation table and values, probably one of the best resources I've ever read is Change Your World, the books that
Yeah.
Papa John says he was born to to read. It goes through a lot of the values and how to uh, apply them and study them. But really, when you lead from your core values, you are really authentic and you can really make a huge impact. So thank you so much for sharing that. But so you've helped translate and localize Maxwell leadership material across Europe and Africa. Why is it so important to make leadership accessible in multiple languages and culture?
I think on one side, John brought down all the growth principles, how he called them,
Mhm.
lows, the 15 laws of growth, or the leadership principles, the 21
Yes.
laws of leadership.
Hmm.
And then through the values, we brought it down to the basic human values. Now,
Yes.
John, he worked together with another team. It's called GPS,
Hmm.
and then he created these wonderful roundtables about
Yes.
change your world.
Hmm.
And these are the values. These are the basic human values. So when
Yes.
you bring it down to basic things, I think language, it's another multilingual way of being different. But
Hmm.
on the other side, when we bring it down to some same level, we need to have it in all these languages because the
Yes.
base is the same. So for
Wow.
me, in Switzerland, we grow up in 4 languages. We have Romance, German, Italian, in French.
Wow.
And we have to learn that language, it's not a barrier. It's it's more value on another level because
Yes.
every language has words we don't have in other language. So it's
Hmm.
even rich and
Wow.
so value. So for me, it began really early in my life. I had to translate all the time in other
Mhm.
languages, and that became a passion, not only literally or how can I say in a
Yes.
grammatical way, but
Mhm.
in an understanding way. So when I did
Yes.
all the help to translate in French,
Mhm.
it was about adaptation more than
Yes.
just because we
Literal
have
translation.
translator now. Today it's easy,
Yes.
but I
Yes.
think the understanding we often miss the right understanding of the
Mhm.
words, and that's what I'm
Wow.
patient about.
That's really wonderful. Yeah, I guess the difference between translation and interpretation, right? And do, let me ask you this: with the, I guess, the disruptive deployment of artificial intelligence, are you using artificial intelligence at all this day to help with translation too, or no?
Oh, it's just the how can I say the easy beginning.
Yes, yes,
But then you
make
will
it better.
really work on it in on
Yes,
different levels. So
yes,
I'm involved in translation company as well. So
yes.
I
Wow,
really love
powerful.
to understand how with artificial intelligence we can add value to
Mhm.
this. It's a huge work, but
Yes,
then still we have to give to
obviously.
nurture
Yes,
the artificial intelligence with the right vocabulary, with the
yes.
right understanding, and that's
Ah,
still a big challenge.
that, that is quite powerful. I know artificial intelligence is definitely helping a lot, and for the most part, it gets better and better uh, every day. But I also remember when I was growing up in Africa, we sang a lot of songs in my church in French, but most of the songs were really, I think, the great majority of them were composed in English, right? In the
Yeah.
United Kingdom, Youth with a Mission. But then they were able to take those songs, those hymns, translate them in French, and the beautiful thing about that is they would kind of keep the prose, the poetry, and all all of that in your own native language, which is pretty amazing. And then years later, I found out no, this wasn't composed in French originally; it was in English. Somebody made the translation, and then we were able to sing it. So it's really powerful how technology when it comes to translating a song and the art, and it's not just a science, right? So there is an art to it as well. But
Oh,
it's
yes.
really wonderful how it kind of brings the world together where language is no longer a barrier.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about global human values. What inspired you to create it, and how is it transforming organizations and communities around the world today?
Um, well, I think I am how to say I did trainings before on
Mhm.
psychology, and I found it was so interesting to understand human being, to understand sociology as well. But still, I couldn't find a way to bring the change.
Mhm.
And so coaching brought me this awareness by asking questions. We cannot change other people, as a quote of John Watts says, change. How was it? How is that in English? Change is imposed by pain,
Yes.
considered through learning, but
Mhm.
takes place by receiving.
Mm.
That was the
Powerful.
most amazing quote. In the beginning, I
Yes.
discovered John Maxwell. So
Yes.
what does that mean? We cannot, if sickness brings us to change something because we need, it's
Mhm.
not a sustainable change. So how does change work? I did some research about change as well. But
Mhm.
finally, what I found, we have to bring it down to the most easy and simple
Mm.
understanding. So you can imagine when I got trained by John Maxwell about leadership, about
Yes.
coaching, I was just, wow, that's wonderful.
Yes.
But when I came to the pound of the values, when we did this country transformations, I said, that's the thing. That's the most
Yes.
powerful, basic human thing. So
Mm.
tried here in Europe to do something because we had not yet changed the world. We had not yet beyond success in all these value roundtables.
Yes.
So in fact, I started something that did not exist yet, and that
Wow.
was human values. That was before
Yes.
the official. And on the other side, I think it was guided this way. So we have
Mm.
identity of for Europe and Africa.
Mhm.
And sometimes it helps, sometimes not. But I
Yes.
think for Europe, it was kind of good. In Switzerland placed, it
Mm.
might help as well. An organization based on all the teachings of John Maxwell
Wow.
and the values based of
Yes.
GPS. And that brought it together on something basic. So when I go now to companies, is it's values, that's easy.
Mhm.
But then they build trust. And
Yes.
then they see the alignment on values. So you
Wow.
can imagine I and our coaches, they have this credibility of
Mm.
aligned value people, so trusted people. And then they discover,
Wow.
oh, you have personal development growth programs,
Mhm.
and you have leadership programs, you have
Yes.
teamwork programs, you have corporate world programs, disc programs, all the rest
Yes.
for sure. But
Wow.
we just come in on the most basic and simplest way, and where
Powerful.
everybody want to have a better teamwork, want to have just a culture environment who has more values. You see all these new words coming up, but maybe I will show you some example of trainings. Why it's such an answer to the world,
Yes. Wow.
and maybe I want to just tell you, today we are facing problems. Of course,
Mhm.
there are a lot of problems. And for a long time, I personally did think we just have to find solution. I was a solution founder.
Mhm.
But then I understood, no, 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 there's something wrong. Sometimes there are not solutions anymore. The problem is too,
Mm.
it just went out of alignment. And then I
Yes.
had this new understanding. In fact, we are just in front of consequences of
Mhm.
this alignment. So if we have consequences of non-alignment, we just need to learn how to go
Mm.
back to alignment. And
Yes.
then we will have benefits of
Mm.
alignment on values. So
That's
that was
powerful.
short, bring it together
Yeah.
what we are doing in global human values.
No, that is very very powerful. Thanks so much for all of the work you are doing, because your work is really global. I remember I went with Papa John and the team in the Dominican Republic, where they speak Spanish, a couple of years back. But you've been in Costa Rica, in Paraguay, all around uh, the world,
And I
coaching
think
transformation.
Paraguay to Dominican Republic as well. So
Oh, okay. So we probably
we
we have
went
I think
there.
about it.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big team. I think maybe 50 of us. I think it was quite a lot, because when I went there, I focused on elementary school teacher
Yeah,
and businessmen and entrepreneur. Those were the people I was leading. But man, it's a life changing event, isn't it?
absolutely.
So,
Oh,
what
yeah.
leadership principle then transcend culture, languages, and it works no matter where you are around the world in your experience?
Yeah, I think when you bring a leadership down to human values,
Mhm.
it just, as we say in leadership, you add value. You are not taking the value, or like
Yes.
John has in his last book, High Road Leadership. What
Hmm.
is the difference from some kind of leadership,
Yes.
dominant, positional, or a leadership as a leader of brings motivation, where is the level of leadership just so different. So
Mm.
mostly I think we can go there, up there, and there are not a lot of people.
Yes. Yes.
For example, politics. I don't say names on
Hmm.
any political guidance, but they are just fighting each other. They are not having a relation, no
Yes.
respect, and no adding value anymore. So if
Hmm.
there is the problem up there, sometimes we cannot reach there anymore. So we just go down, 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 down here. And
Mm.
on this level, okay, how can you live a life of respect? What
Yes.
does it mean?
Yes.
What is the benefit? Or how can your attitude change? Is it
Mhm.
vulnerability, or is it not being powerful? Why
Yes.
we have so many bad understanding of values and
Mm.
human behavior? So when we go there and people become aware, oh, I don't have to
Yes.
be dominant to be respected. No,
Hmm.
at all. How work,
Yes.
respect, and then they learn it and they
Mhm.
improve it. And that's when they come back next week. We have
Yes.
always an action step to do. So it's really um, in the being. It's not just the training or the doing. It's the
Yes.
being, the human being, and not
Wow.
just being the doing. Yeah.
Yes, and thank you so much for mentioning this book, I Wrote Leadership, right? Bringing people together in a world that divides. I think we need it now
Mm.
more than ever before. I've really never lived in a world where people at the highest level of leadership sometimes act like children. And it really makes me, leadership sad. I think I've heard Papa John says that too. And I think more than ever before today, right now, we really need people to be coached to live by their values, respect one another, treat everybody with respect and dignity, and really focus on the problem, right? Not be like children and attacking each other. Wow. So, I mean, we have so much to talk about, but let me ask you this: for leaders in crisis or in transition right now, whether they are in the military, in the corporate world, or high tech, what are the first steps toward regaining clarity and confidence?
Become a friend with crisis and change.
Yes,
And that what I learned by my study about change, and John Maxwell learned a lot about crisis as well.
yes.
Change is the most stressful and difficult thing to go
Hmm.
through, but change opens new ways of seeing. And as John
Yes.
says, a leader is not only somebody who knows things to do,
Absolutely.
but he sees more and
Yes.
before.
Hmm.
And I think today we just need, um, how did you ask the question? That
Yes,
was
I guess.
more. Yeah, yes, please give me just the end of the question
Uh,
so I
oh,
can direct it to your
yes.
question.
So going from crisis to clarity and
Yeah,
confidence. Yes.
to become clarity, we need to know what happens in a change
Hmm.
journey. And
Yes.
there is surprise, there is non-comfort, there is learning. There, you see, we have a wonderful tour in the corporate side of John Maxwell,
Hmm.
where we learn, go through crisis. Now,
Yes.
that's one thing, change. Then we have to find out what are the values we would never change them
Mm.
again. Values, where are the how do you say it in English, non-discutable values.
Hmm.
Even in crisis, we still
Yes.
be honest, we
Yes.
still will respect, we
Mhm.
still. So I think crisis, we don't manage crisis because we have the powerful
Yes.
money or whatever, but because in crisis we know how to stay
Mm.
solid on our values,
Yes.
and be, even if it looks not the right thing to do,
Hmm.
but if it's on our values side, we don't discuss about these values, we still
Uh,
stay honest, integrity,
yes.
and all these things.
Character.
So even I think in times of crisis, just
Yes.
be fidèle, how do you
Mhm.
say, this
Faithful.
faithful
Yes.
on your basic profound values.
Wow. So that's why they are core values. So you have to stand on your value, especially in times of crisis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not be looking for shortcuts or trying to look for a small, ephemeral advantage, but being who you are. And that is
Oh,
so powerful. I think we really need this now more than ever before. Let's talk a little bit about women and leadership, because unfortunately today, even in America, I feel like there is still no equity, right, between male and female. Like in America, still women, even if they have the same experience, background, and education, they still make about 80 cents on the dollar. Now, there's been a lot of improvement, but I don't think we are still where we need to be. And in many other countries in the world, it's the same thing. So you've been a role model for women in leadership for decades now. What unique challenges do women face when leading through value and service?
Maybe I I might just connect with when we have our meetings with John Maxwell once a year or even twice a year. We call it the IMC International Meetings. John invites always really interesting people to learn
Yes.
us more. So I learned so much, and I think I want to quote you, Malcolm Gladwell, Blink. It's thinking without thinking.
Mhm.
And why has this influence about women,
Yes.
about inclusive or
Mhm.
exclusive, about
Yes.
color, about you see all these
Mhm.
problems? I think in a culture, how we treat women is the first evidence of how we
Yes.
treat children, how we treat different cultures, how we treat different colors. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So, if as a woman we have differences, it's because we have sometimes blink attitudes we are not aware, and we think without thinking, and suddenly it looks like a woman is less powerful than a man, so it's always more important to have a powerful man leading a company. You
Yes.
see this kind of things. I
Mm.
see it, may I say it this
Please.
way, I see it even more in the United States. There the
Yes.
man side is so much, whoa, hard. In Europe we have a more large spectrum of
Mhm.
yeah, the political side is more dominant, so there are more women, but
Yes.
still it's difficult. But the first thing is our mindset of women.
Mm.
We think, and they have Malcolm Gladwell, he has a lot of statistics. He
Yes.
explains why a woman, if she is not 100% sure
Mm.
she has the full potential of doing something, she
Yes.
will not offer her service for a
Yes.
job. A
Yes.
man, he has 40 percentage of understanding of the
Yes.
situation. He just,
Yes.
I'm the man. You see,
True. True.
I think even that's culturally and that's educational.
Yes.
We still need a generation of
Mm.
new understanding. We are so complementary. We are not the same, and
True.
that's our creator wanted this way, but
Yes.
we are still learning how to have the right thing. So in our team
Yes.
and global human values, we are a lot of women. I
Mhm.
see there are a lot of women rising in Africa too. They're
Yes.
saying we have to bring another leadership to our
Mm.
children, to our communities.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
love these women. I support them so much. And
Wow.
even now, they have now a community in Belgium, and they are
Yes.
politically and in university so much engaged. And I
Mm.
just like, wow, you are so powerful
Ah,
women. So I love to work with women, but as
yes.
I said, it's not a difference. We are just complementary. So
So
we
true.
need both men and
Wow.
women.
So this is going to be the last question for this segment, because you often said, and you also said it at the beginning of this podcast, you need to become the change you wish to see. And so what's your message for young women who are listening right now and emerging leaders who want to make an impact?
um, be faithful on on what you are believing in the most profound inside of you. If it's
Mm.
aligned with add value and values, there I think the new generation has answers to question we don't even can imagine
Yes.
our generation. So I
Yeah.
think be faithful what you understand and what you see and what
Mm.
you search, but ask question,
Yes.
search for better understanding. And I see it already. You search for beyond success,
Mm.
you search for significance, because
Mm.
if there's no sense, you will not do it for money anymore. Our generation did things for money or for success. No, the new generation, they want to find sense. Now there's such a discouragement, and there
Yes.
is missing so much hope that sometimes it falls in, we just enjoy every day and we just try to make the best of our
Mm.
own life, and to be kind of
Yes.
joy and easy life that will not bring you significance. So
Yes.
I think still there is hope. And like John says it in the Change Your World roundtables, hope is, there are two things in hope. There is courage. No, there is, oh, I try. There is anger about things we are not agreeing.
Yes.
That's in hope. There's anger
Mm-hmm.
because we are don't agreeing, but there is courage to
Yes.
see the potential to change it.
Wow, that's
So
powerful.
I would say, please renew your hope. And we
Mm.
have one value is hope. So we
Yes.
train how to be a person full of hope and see things possible, how to work with our emotions
Yes.
and to have even anger, but not the anger of
Mm-hmm.
breaking things down, but anger to change things.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then you will find this courage to
Wow.
really change the things.
That is powerful. I guess that's really where change starts, right? You have to be dissatisfied with where you are so you can find a way to get to where you should be. All right. So, the first question I want to ask you for the second segment is, what do you think is the greatest lesson you have learned so far? Lesson in leadership, in life, in general?
Oh, I think I don't quote John. It's really his personal experience. The hardest leadership is about ourselves. It's
Hmm.
to how can I lead myself?
Yes.
I had to
Yes.
learn to become much more active,
Hmm.
to get in charge of my life.
Yes.
In all these cancer questions, I had to get
Yes.
in charge. It's not the others they know, it's not
Mm-hmm.
doctor they know. I had to learn, well, how does this work in my
Yes.
body? So I
Yes.
think the greatest leadership is become the leader of yourself and
Yes.
learn how you act and why things are not aligned
Yes.
and all these things. Yeah.
That's really powerful because, like Papa John teaches, right? Leadership is not about a title or a position, but it's really influence. And the first person you need to influence is yourself. That is so powerful. Thank you. And what do you think is the greatest leadership advice you've received so far?
I would say believe or dare. On in French we say ose,
Mm-hmm. There.
dare,
Yes.
go. And
Yes.
I call it, even I have a kind of a connection where I ask the Lord, well, red carpet or red light.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
during COVID I had just red carpet to go to the United States. But
Mm-hmm.
that was not possible because Europe
Yes.
could not go to the United States during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? I was the only European woman,
Yes.
and even there were no men
Mm-hmm.
coming to IMC to Orlando because
Yes.
I dare to go because I believed
Mm-hmm.
there could be a red carpet. You just have to
Yes.
first step, and
Hmm.
then step by step, there is a way to open.
Wow, that's powerful. Dare to lead. So powerful. Yeah, I remember during COVID is when my mother passed away in France, and French had closed their borders. They wouldn't allow people from the US or from anywhere to come to the country. So we had to get a special permission from the Prime Minister of France, and we went through the embassy in San Francisco. But yeah, my brother and I we were able to travel there for her funeral. You are so many times in the world they have rules where they say no, you can't do this. These are our rules, but usually there is a waiver or there is a way for some type of exception if you dare to believe and dare to lead.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
powerful. Wow. Okay. So, what do you think is the secret of your success? Why are you so successful going all around the world and impacting leaders and developing leaders with your ministry and your work? What do you think is the secret?
Well, I'm laughing because I have to share my vulnerability,
Hmm.
and then you will understand how I think God brought it to
Yes.
something really different. I'm IS person. So when you understand this human
Hmm.
human evaluation,
Yes.
so I kind of go all over different things, and I could just go there, and I see there something,
Yes.
and I love people. So I would just stay all the time with my things, what I think is priority.
Hmm.
But I would lose the goal. I would not be efficient. So
Yes.
one of the mentors of the Maxwell leadership team, I was asking him, I get so much lost because I take attention to somebody who I would love to help, and then I lose time because I do several things at the same time.
Yes.
How can I get a better person and be more organized and have better priorities? And I
Yes.
think he gave me the best answer, because until there,
Mm.
people say you have to get disciplined, you have to be
Yeah.
more patient, and all these things. And I did it for 40 years and did not work. So he gave me
Yes.
this answer: your dream is not big enough.
Wow.
You're not connected yet with what is
Mm.
in your potential. And if you would say it in a way for a person of faith, you are
Yes.
not connected yet with the call God put in your life.
Mm.
And you see, there I had to come back to my young ages. I wanted to change the
Yes.
world. And everybody
Wow.
told me, you cannot change the world. And I
Wow.
can't want to change my school. You cannot. So
Mm.
all these other voices telling me, you cannot.
Yes. Yes.
At one level of my age, I said, why not?
Why not? That's right.
And this
Wow.
why not brought me to the place. If that's really dream to change the world,
Mm.
I have to get organized.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have priorities, and I
Yes.
cannot lose any more time with
Hmm.
doing just not with things where prioritized.
Yes.
So I
Wow.
become much more disciplined and
Yes.
much more goal oriented, but still with this
Mhm.
wonderful side of me, influence and
Yes.
social understanding. So
Yes.
that's kind
Wow.
of secret sauce.
That is so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, what are you learning these days?
Wow. These days, I'm still working with Malcolm Gladwell. I just found
Hmm.
his last book about it's the tipping point.
Yeah.
What
It's
brings
in the
this
book.
change? What has this influence
Hmm.
worldwide? So you can imagine I'm so
Yes.
passionate about. But still, I have Caroline Leaf.
Hmm.
Switch on your brain. I think all the
Yes.
neuroscientific things are coming more and more aware. I see even connections to the
Mm.
values, about how values working, and that brings me to the emotions. So
Yes.
at the moment I'm studying about a connection code. That's another understanding of how bringing emotion in a system of, like, the values, how does
Hmm.
that work? Why we are
Yes.
so not good, and our generation was not good at all in emotions, and
Hmm.
today the new generation has better understanding. You see,
Yes.
we keep on learning. We never arrive, like John says. We
Mm.
are never
That's powerful.
specialists. We are learner, and
Yes.
that's, I think, the most biggest secret.
Wow. Thank you so much. So we are going towards the end, but let me ask you this: success and failures, I believe, are two sides of the same exact coin. How has failure shaped your life?
Um, I I love it. I had this side of, I invested a lot in other people, and I
Mm.
always had this belief that others know better than I do. That's
Yes.
women or whatever, my disc side.
Hmm.
So my biggest failure was when I uh, put in more confidence and more belief in others that
Yes.
they would know.
Hmm.
And when there were failures in my life. It was just because I did not listen to my
Wow.
leadership understanding, and I think that was a consequence. So since I'm now
Yes.
concentrated on global human values, because somewhere
Mm.
I had different failures of not achieving what I would have loved to bring it to the place. And
Yes.
today I said I had to take my leadership now, and
Mm.
really, if there is something I have to change in this world,
Yes.
well, just create it. So that
Wow.
was part of really investing now my main time in global human values.
That is so wonderful. So, who are some of your mentors, your thought leaders, people you follow that we should know about and follow as well?
Well, I think our people, if they haven't yet heard that John
Yes.
Maxwell is somebody and I would say he not only, well, I love to say he is my friend. So
Mm.
he knows so much, but
Yes.
most of all, he's my friend, and he puts in word what is deep down in my
Mhm.
soul. So I would not say I just follow a guru, like in English you
Yes.
say blood. We don't love it in French. A guru is
Yes.
it's not the kind of thing I would say, but I would say he says this thing deep, what is deep down in
Mhm.
me. So
Yes.
that's why we just love. But then Valerie Burton,
Yeah.
oh, she is a wonderful coach,
Yes. Right.
positive
Yeah.
thinking coach. So
Yeah.
she's our coach. Then we have Galbraith,
Yeah.
Roddy Galbraith. He learns us to
Right there.
speak, and not
Yes.
only to speak, to how to bring my message
Yes.
over out there. And I
Exactly.
had to learn a lot. I was a timid
Mm.
introvert person. You
Yes.
see what it looks
Yes.
like now. So he
Mm.
learned me so much. And sure, Mark Cole, our
Yeah.
CEO, he takes over now the and Chris Robinson. I
Yeah.
love his heart. So that's our uh,
Yes.
team of leaders at the Maxwell Leadership Team.
Mhm.
But then John brings in, last, like I told you, the Malcolm Gladwell. We
Yeah.
had Karen Leaf, and
Yeah.
we had Cialdini. We had,
Mm.
well, there were so many
Yes.
names. Every time I just go so much,
It's wonderful. Yeah.
that's wonderful. So we keep on growing. If you heard sometimes, pardon, Live to Lead. That's
Yes.
one in every year. It's a
Mhm.
meeting about all these wonderful people coming up in the world.
Yes.
John brings them together, and
Mhm.
like Simon Sinek, we had so
Yeah.
all these names. They keep
Yes.
adding value to me, and they really inspire me so much.
That is really really wonderful, man. That's really what I love, right? I think you're gonna mention the 15 laws of growth. So we are always growing, always learning, and it's so wonderful. So, if you could have dinner with three people, it doesn't matter who they are, alive, dead, or even mythical figure, who would you choose to have dinner with, and why? Three people.
Well, I, I can let's reconnecting. Yes, I
No,
hope.
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. We have a lot of snow, so I don't hope there is some
Oh, you are
problems.
good.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. I well,
Three people.
I don't know if some of you are you know about The Chosen, this
Hmm.
new
Yes, yes, yes.
series about the life of Jesus. So
Mhm.
if you see The Chosen and you see this representation of Jesus, I still would love to spend just
Yes.
time. And well, a person of faith, we know there
Yes.
is this time we can share these
Hmm.
intimate moments with Jesus. So first of
Yes.
all, that's real life. So I'm still practicing
Absolutely.
every day. I have some moments with Jesus. That's first, and then sure. Um, I I have some crazy thought.
Hmm.
When I came back from my cancer and all this journey, I asked the Lord a strange prayer. I said,
Hmm.
"Let me meet important people of this
Mm.
world to really have influence in this
Wow.
world." And I say it, BC,
Yes.
Coach BC, you are important.
Wow.
Like
Thank
meet
you.
you, so you see,
Yes.
there are strategic people in the world. So
Oh, thank you.
sometimes I would love to meet some strategic people. Met but sometimes it's not the ones we would
Okay.
think like the
Yes.
presidents, because that
Mhm.
sometimes there is somebody behind. So I have some names in my head.
Okay.
It's about politic. It's about people of influence, or we call
Mhm.
them people of peace
Yes.
in a country. So
Yes.
I'm looking now to be connected to
Mhm.
people of peace who have influence in a good
Yes.
way, and
Mhm.
to connect to these people. And then I
Wow.
would to share dinner, to just to share,
Mm.
okay, what strategy should we
Yes.
now understand with this
Wow.
eternal
Thank you so
seeing.
much. Yes. So give me one more name, one of those people. Just one name.
Well,
What
I,
what
I,
about
I,
the president of the US? Would you like to have dinner with Donald Trump?
I would say I would do the prayer, red carpet or red light.
Yes. Very good. Very good.
I
Thank
would
you.
not be so sure, but on the other side,
Yes.
sure,
Yes.
there is a need of people. They
Mhm.
dare to go there and to have, as we had, for example,
Yes.
in Costa Rica, we
Mhm.
had the opportunity to meet the Minister of Education
Yes.
of this country. So
Mhm.
I would sure love to
Wow.
meet. I think on our Switzerland direction as well.
Yes.
So I would love to meet these people. Yeah,
Wow.
sure. But
That's wonderful.
Trump is red carpet or red lights, I think
Yes.
there would be some bigger intervention.
Fantastic. So we almost out of time. Can you give me five more minutes before
Yeah,
we close? Okay. So some of the books that you've read that we should read, we've kind of talked about this. You mentioned earlier the 15 invaluable laws of growth, right? The
yeah,
16 invaluable laws of communication. We've mentioned
good.
Change Your World, and also I Wrote Leadership, which is one of the latest book Papa John just wrote. And then when we spoke, you talked about the Tipping Point by Michael
Yeah.
Gladwell and also Blank. And then we also talked about Dr. Caroline Leaf. Can you tell us more about Switch On Your Brain, why people should buy this book and read it?
Well, I would even add another one, because I think I told about Karen Leaf. I
Hmm.
would need to add Tim Elmore.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Actually, I interviewed him about 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago. Yes.
yes, so good. So if our listener here, we can come back to Tim Elmore's.
Yes.
Why is he makes such a difference? Because he brings it to the new generation understanding. We
Yes.
are the first generation where we have 5 generations working together.
Hmm.
That never happened before.
True.
So we are so disconnected. We are not speaking the same language anymore, not only in language side, but on the cultural side. We are
Yes.
not having the same understanding. We are not having the same base of technical issues. So we need to connect with this new generation. So his um, book about habits, or the new training we have now about use and training in school, absolutely
Yes.
interesting. Have a look on podcast of Tim Elmore as well. He brings such a difference.
Yes.
And
Yeah, this is his latest book, The Future Begins with Z.
yeah,
We
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about that.
And I would add Jeff Henderson.
Yes.
Jeff Henderson, he brings it to the place. All the companies on this world
Mm-hmm.
are here to help the world becoming a better world.
Yes.
That's the goal of every company.
Mm-hmm.
Every company has an answer to a need of the world. That's
Yes.
commerce, that's exchange of good things, that's the human being purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So Chief Henderson brings it. Why does it not work? And what for our companies should be here? And he helps so much this understanding for companies, for organizations,
Mm-hmm.
how to bring it on the right place, what for we are here. If
Wow.
it's just to make money, it's it will end.
Yes.
It's no worse. They must be purpose. They must be
Yes.
intention. They must be understanding of how to bring it
Mm.
to the world. And it's not a marketing side. So
Yes.
I'm kind of allergic to all a certain kind of marketing
Mm-hmm.
where it's just about you have to buy it, we have
Yes.
to answer,
Yes.
and it's just about
Mm. That's powerful.
a bad way of bringing marketing in. As I
Yes.
see, Cialdini is a good other
Wow.
author speaking about this.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff Henderson, he brings a right understanding of marketing. I learned so much
Yes.
about how to get connected. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not at your level, Coach BC,
Yes.
but I'm kind of connected to quite a lot of
Yes.
influential people. And that
Absolutely.
brings me to a place where we can have influence to change
Mm.
things. So really, Tim
Absolutely.
Elmore and Jeff Henderson,
Yes.
two other names to be aware.
Absolutely. Actually, Jeff Anderson, we are connected. He needs to be on my podcast next. So thank you for reminding me. But this is
Oh, I love it.
powerful, powerful, powerful. So, man, I could be speaking with you for hours and hours and hours. But let me ask you this. We are running out of time, but I need to know, is there maybe a song or a book or a movie that would be your life's theme or your anthem?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, let's say Casting Crowns.
Mm.
It's a music group.
Yeah.
He does powerful songs about humanness
Yes.
and about empathy and about change. So
Mhm.
he is one of the ones I love to listen.
Do,
But
do you know what's the name of a song from Casting Crown?
oh,
Because
wow,
they have
I
so
just
many.
yeah. It's wow. Well, when I was in my cancer journey, and I don't remember the song
Yeah,
name anymore.
they have so many. Just if you praise you in the storm, who
Yeah,
am I?
that's absolutely the one. Praise you in
Praise
the
you in the storm.
storm.
Okay, that's wonderful.
It just brings you
So
a
aspirational.
powerful
Wow.
place. Oh yeah. Then
Ah,
you
fantastic.
have the I have a friend actually. She did. She's now at her fifth series of Fragrance of Faith.
Wow.
And it's just a story, different stories. She goes to different places
Mm-hmm.
where she brings up understanding of human beings
Wow.
and how this fragrance of faith
Mm-hmm.
brings the turning pound. And as John says is a lot
Yes.
at our IMC event, I don't bother you about my, it's not about a religion. It's just
Yes.
in case you want to hear something more about
Yes.
this side, please come to my service. But
Yes.
everybody comes, but he does not push
Absolutely.
on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the same. If there is somebody asking more about what is it about faith? What is this
Mm.
behind? It's not a religious thing.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just a relational thing. So I would
Mm.
look for
Powerful.
fragrance of faith.org,
Mm-hmm.
and you will have access to this wonderful series of bring this fragrance of faith appear in the world. That brings hope and that brings understanding. And even to somebody who has just no connection about religion or faith, and it brings
Yes.
understanding. And it's just a wonderful, she does wonderful in this. Now she's just doing the fifth series, the same in the Chosen. The fifth series just came out, so it's another powerful thing. But there is a lot out there, so I'm still
Yes.
loving the music of John Maxwell as well. He put leadership
Mm-hmm.
lessons in music. The same,
Yes.
you can find wonderful encouragements.
Wow. And this is the
Well,
Fragrance of Faith website,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Wow.
exactly. You
Fantastic.
just
Thank
subscribe
you so much for sharing.
and you
Yes.
will find wonderful appearance of this space.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, I've listened, I think, at least 2 or 3 songs now John Maxwell did about leadership, and I would have link on the article I'm going to
Yeah.
write. Thank you. Okay, so we are coming toward the very end. Thank you for giving me a little bit more time. I think this is important. If you had one day and only one day to live, what would you have liked your final contribution to be?
That I decided when I had just 2 or 3 months left to live. I said, well,
Mhm.
intentional every
Yes.
day. Be intentional every day.
Mhm.
And I would even start a new values roundtable.
Yes.
I do every week, I have groups with this values roundtable. So I stay in in the
Yes.
movement, and we need to be
Mm.
intentional and still believe change is possible,
Yes.
and values, we can bring these values roundtables all over the world. And I would
Yeah.
say, well, I'm not enough, we need a team. So if you are here, you
Mhm.
listen to our podcast, just please have a
Yes.
look, either Global Human Values, our platform, or you just go to maxwellleadership.com as well. You have a lot of podcasts as well from the Maxwell Leadership side, just so wonderful. Just
Mm.
I think there is hope, and we need
Yes.
other people to join us because we need
Wow.
more people to multiply.
True. Wow. So if you had a magic wand, you could solve any problem at all. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, what is one problem you would like to solve?
Oh, well, now you see my brain is going the other way around.
Yes.
I would just come back to the values, because I would say, well,
Mhm.
I just have to learn even better a new value. And I
Yes.
give you an
Yes.
example. I just trained a group for generosity, but I
Yes.
still couldn't figure out how to manage all the abusive world that
Mm.
gets on your generosity and makes you keep
Yes.
you a heart is not soft anymore.
Hmm.
So I still had to
Yes.
figure out how does it work. I did research, I did look for answers,
Wow.
and I just wrote a newsletter about generosity
Yes.
and what
Hmm.
other factors have to learn us how to be free to be in
Yes.
generosity
Yes.
and not to be
Wow.
manipulated in generosity. So I would every day learn even more and more
Mhm.
about values and how to
Yes.
get aligned on this value. And by the way, if you like to get involved in our newsletters, you just subscribe and just let you
Yes.
know. It looks like it is in French, but our
Hmm.
platform is a multilingual platform. So you
Yes.
just double click, right? And then you choose
Mhm.
your language. You have to choose of 130 languages.
Yes.
And you will find it in your language. So even our newsletter, you can find it in English, in Italian, in Russian, in Spanish, in whatever language you speak. So
Wow. And that is the one at human values that global, right?
yeah, there's a LinkedIn one, so they are close. In LinkedIn it's
Mhm.
shorter, but on Global Human Values we have, it's always a longer newsletter, but it's the
Yes.
same theme we treat. So we just came
Yes.
out with the last one about you can go on news, just click on
Hmm.
news on the menu. Yeah,
Yeah.
here we are, and then you just find our latest, and
Newsletter. Yeah.
yeah,
Generosity. Here it
generosity.
is.
So you see, you change the language. So you click, and we do a lot of different values. Then we
Hmm.
have, when we go to countries, we had a
Yes.
conference just lately. You can listen to the recording. There is a
Yeah.
lot to
Wow.
discover.
That's so wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. So I want everybody to please go to humanvalues.global and sign up for the newsletter under news. And I also would like for everybody to follow you on LinkedIn. Here you are,
Okay.
and they can. Is there anything else the audience can do to add value back to you, Astrid?
Just be the change you want to see.
Yes, yes, that is powerful. Yeah, I think Mahatma Gandhi said that too. Be the change you want to see. That is so
Uh,
powerful. Wow. Okay. So We are coming toward the end, but let me ask you, is there a question I should have asked that I have not asked yet? Anything you wanted to say before we close out?
Oh, just let me know if I can add value to you. Just reach out to me. I would love to support you all over the world. You see, I'm not about success anymore. It's
Yes.
about beyond success, a life
Significance.
of significance.
Wow.
So if you would like to discover more or understand more, just please, I'm here to serve you.
Outstanding. Okay, so let me ask you this. If you could go back and give a piece of advice to your 17-year-old self, standing at the edge of this incredible career you've had with global coaching and training and speaking, what would you say to 17-year-old Astrid?
I did already create things. I did a lot. Just it did not exist, so I had to create it. But I was not daring to make companies with it.
Mm,
So I would say to my young, and that would I say to you, if you are a young person or even
yes.
less, just start, create. There are still answers we haven't
Mm,
on this world, and we need be creative, and we need invention, and we need, but all discovered with this like Joel Mambi says, with love. So
yes.
caring leadership, just have this caring leadership and create
Wow.
these
Powerful.
ones that you need in this world.
Thank you so much. Okay, we are coming toward the end. It's going to take less than 2 minutes, lightning round. So you have to think really fast. Okay. Uh, one word that defines leadership. One word.
Oh, I would say love, but it looks like
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I would say love.
wonderful. Okay. Morning routine or practice that keeps you grounded.
Start intentionally within me, and that connected me to him.
That's powerful. Okay. A book or a quote that changed your life.
um, Leaders see more and before others see.
Yes. That's a powerful quote by Papa Maxwell. Okay.
Yeah.
Who inspire you the most today?
Well, still John Maxwell. In between,
Yes.
that comes down to the Bible. Yeah, the
Yes.
Word of God.
Very good. So, what did you want to be when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, I want to be a teacher.
Oh, you are a teacher today. You are a global teacher, like a speaker, a trainer. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Bravo. So, three adjective describing you as a child.
I couldn't catch you.
Sorry. Three adjective describing you as a
Um,
child.
I would say loving, smiling, and curious.
Okay. As an adult.
Loving, smiling, and curious still.
Very good. The same, consistent. Good job. Right. This is the last question, and the podcast is over. Thank you so much for giving us a little extra time. I feel like we really needed this. You have so much to teach us. We need to have you back on the show. So the last question is: what is one word that comes to mind that represent our shared experience on this podcast right now? One word.
Multiplication.
Multiplication. Thank you. For me, I'm always grateful. Thank you so much for taking your time all the way from Switzerland, Astrid. We really appreciate it. Thank you for being one of our master teachers today. Leading with value, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Coach BC.
Au
Merci,
revoir
much
et
pleasure.
merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Wow.
C'était un honneur pour moi d'être avec vous.
Thank you. Great love and affection.
Blessings to you
Merci.
all. Bye bye.
All right. Bye. Well, everybody, that was Coach Astrid Meyer. Wow, what a powerful time we've had. Sorry, we went over by almost 20 minutes, but she has so much to teach us. So, again, I want to remind everyone to follow her on LinkedIn. Let me get the caption here. Hold on a second. I thought I had. Yeah, here we go. So, follow her on LinkedIn, Astrid Meyer, RDV Coaching 100. And then a website, humanvalues.global. Sign up for her newsletter. She really has so much to teach. So this week, tomorrow, I have a very, very special presentation. One of my mentors is really a legend. He's going to be here. He's General David H. Petraeus. And if you remember, he's the one who really saved us from the war in Iraq and Afghanistan during the global war on terror in the United States. He's a 4-star general. He's a soldier, a scholar, legendary strategist, and the New York Times best-selling author of Conflict. So we're going to be talking about leading at the highest level. That's going to be tomorrow morning, I believe, 6 a.m. California time, 9 a.m. Eastern time. So you don't want to miss this. All right. Until tomorrow, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you so much for joining me on the Leadership and Success Podcast. Bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If today's episode added value to your leadership journey, be sure to subscribe, share, and join us again for more wisdom nuggets on how to lead better and achieve greater success. Remember, leadership is the most critical skill of our time. The world will always need leaders to inspire others, drive innovation, and execute meaningful strategy. So why not count yourself among the bold leaders shaping the 21st century? Until next time, stay inspired, stay committed, and keep leading with excellence.